What's up, everybody? Welcome to another recap of the 2022 NFL season. We're in week 9. Can you believe it? Halfway through the season. Yeah, I'm sporting a little bit of a different look today, but this is how all the cool kids are doing it. I don't have the chains like Kurt Thuggins or Adam Schefter. I'm poor, so I can't afford those chains, but have the jacket, keep it classy. But you know how we do. All right. For this week, we had upset wins. We had offense, we had defense, whatever you wanted. We had 1 o'clock window being exciting, 4 o'clock window being a little bit boring till the end. Let's just get into it. Start with Thursday night's matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles, 7-0, against the Houston Texans. And now the Eagles offense, they did their thing. Jalen Hurts, 2 tutties, 1 to Dallas Goedert, 1 to A.J. Brown. Miles Sanders had a rushing TD. No problems on that side of the ball. Defense, on the other hand, you give up 17 points to the Texans. You got to right the ship. I mean, if you give the Texans more than 3 points, that's a loss, morally at least. So you got to clean up your act there. Eagles defense, I mean, you had Davis Mills throw 2 TDs. Yeah, you picked him off twice, sacked him 4 times, and allowed Dameon Pierce to go, I think, 140 yards rushing. Can't have it, but for now, you stay undefeated, 8-0. You get the dub over the Texans, 29-17. Next, we go to the Colts and the Patriots. This is all about the Patriots defense. They sacked Sam Ehlinger 9 times. 9 times. This was a franchise record. 3 sacks each for Matthew Judon, who now has 11.5 and is the league leader in sacks, and Josh Uche also had 3 sacks. And, I mean, Colts offense, they couldn't get anything going. I mean, it was so bad that on Monday they fired their coach, Frank Reich. I mean, I think Colts fans could have seen that coming, but this team is just in disarray. I mean, it's them and the Texans, I think, 2 worst teams in the league. But Patriots, I mean, on offense, Mac Jones, serviceable. He needs to get better, but Patriots defense, they held him in. Special teams too, John Jones, he had a block punt and an interception. Defense all day, baby. Patriots get the win over the Colts, 26-3. Next we go to the Chargers and the Falcons. This was a pretty exciting game, back and forth. You know, this is a game of running backs. Cordell Patterson was back after injury. He had 2 rushing TDs. Austin Eckler had a rushing and a receiving TD. And this game just kind of went down to the wire. We had a weird sequence at the end of the game. The Chargers were driving. Austin Eckler looked like he was down by contact, but said that he wasn't. He fumbled. Falcons recovered. They ran the ball down. Their defensive player fumbled as well, and somehow the Chargers got it back. So they got lucky. They were able to drive into range. And Cameron Dicker, if you remember him, the former University of Texas kicker, Dicker the kicker, they drove in range for him. He kicked a game-winning 37-yard field goal as time expired. And the Chargers, they get the win over the Falcons, 20-17. Next, we go to the Dolphins and the Bears. If you wanted offense, this was your game. Tua, Justin Fields, they went back and forth. No real defense for this one. Tua, he had 3 TDs. Hill, Waddle, they went off. Each had a TD. Hill, he had 7 receptions for 143 yards. He now has over 1,000 yards for the season, and we're only halfway through. I'm pulling for him to get 2,000. I really want him to. We haven't had that since Calvin Johnson, I think, 2012. So we'll see what happens. But on the other side of the ball, Justin Fields, man, he was looking good. He had himself 3 TDs. He ran for 178 yards, also had a rushing TD. And he looked good. He looked like the QB that the Bears want him to be for the future. Just got to shape up the defense and probably the offensive line, which are always the 2 biggest issues with the Bears. But, I mean, the offense as a whole, the playmakers, Justin Fields, that's promising. They didn't get the win, but I think make some tweaks. Future's bright with the Dolphins. I think they're trending in the right direction. They get the win over the Bears, 35-32. Next, go to the Bengals and the Panthers. This was all about Joe Mixon. If you had him on fantasy, you probably rejoiced. He had 53 points. If you played against him in fantasy, as I did, then you were probably crying yourself to sleep. Just what it is. He had 5 total touchdowns, 4 rushing, 1 receiving. This game was basically over at halftime. PJ Walker had a couple picks, and the Panthers replaced him with Baker Mayfield. He threw a couple TDs at the end of the game to kind of make this a little exciting for Panthers. I say just play Baker. I think he's going to get you guys more points, but you guys suck as a whole. And the Bengals, they demolish the Panthers 42-21. Actually, go to the Packers and the Lions. These Lions, man, they play tough. Dan Campbell, I know their record. They're 1-6. They play hard. The offense has shown up, and the defense is sucked. Well, this time it was the other side of the ball. The defense showed up big, picking off Aaron Rodgers 3 times, including twice when the Packers were basically at the 1-yard line. I don't know what's going on with Aaron Rodgers. I'm glad that I haven't been playing him. I picked up Tua. Rodgers, you're on my bench. I kind of want to drop you. I mean, will you get hot the rest of the season? Maybe you could. Are you going to run the table like you did, that one season? I don't know, but you're playing like crap. Can't get in sync with your receivers. Aaron Jones does his thing, but that's about it. But the Lions defense, man, they made you look silly. And now the Lions, who are 2-6, are only a game back of the Packers, are now 3-6. Yikes. How about the Lions, though? Proud of them. Lions get the dub over the Packers, 15-9. Next, we go to the Bills and the Jets. Another upset victory. Jets defense playing well. They picked off Allen twice, including a very questionable throw by Allen when he literally threw it right to the defender. Allen tried to bring his team back in as he had 2 rushing TDs. Zach Wilson, a.k.a. Milf Hunter, he just did enough. He was serviceable, didn't turn the ball over, and found James Robinson for a TD. Defense made a big 4th down stop at the end of the game. And the Jets, the Jets, Jets, only a game back now of the Bills in the division. This AFC East, man, it's going to be interesting. Jets over the Bills, 20-17. Next, we go to the Vikings and Commanders. Kirk Thuggins, baby. Something about 1 p.m. Kirk. I said it last week. They played again this week, 1 p.m. I mean, you all saw the meme on the plane. He's iced out. Teammates are loving it. He's ripped. Like, did you guys see that? He's ripped, rightfully so. And, I mean, this game was probably closer than they wanted it to be. But, I mean, Kirk Cousins, he had 2 TDs, including 1 to his favorite target, JJ. Justin Jefferson, over 100 yards receiving. The other side of the ball, Taylor Heinicke, he had 2 TDs, but he had a costly interception in the 4th quarter that led to the Vikings driving down and tying the game. And just at the end, Vikings got the ball back. They milked the clock. They got the ball back with 6 minutes, 12 seconds to go in the game, and they took 6 minutes off. Got down to 12 seconds. Vikings kicker Chris Joseph kicked a game-winning 28-yard field goal, 12 seconds to go. Vikings, Kirk Thuggins, iced out, baby. They get the win over the Commanders, 20-17. Next, we go to the Raiders and the Jags. Another surprise victory. You never know what you're going to get with Trevor Lawrence, but, I mean, he played well. It was also a big game for Travis Etienne. He had over 100 yards rushing, 2 TDs. And, I mean, this game, the Jaguars were down 17. I mean, this game was 20-3, and it was 20-10 at the half. And credit the Jags defense. I mean, Devontae Adams was going off in the first half. He had 10 catches, 146 yards, 2 TDs, basically non-existent in the second half. So credit to Jacksonville and the defense there. And they just did enough. And the Jags, they get the home victory over the Raiders. And Josh McDaniels, tick, tick, tick. Could you be the next coach fired? Again, Patriots, they need an offensive coordinator. Let's see what will happen. Jags over the Raiders, 27-20. Let's go to the Seahawks and the Cardinals. Geno Smith, baby. He's just he was waiting for his opportunity. He is shining. He's got the Cardinals in first place in the NFC West. He had 2 TDs. Kenneth Walker stepped beautifully into that RB1 role. He had over 100 yards rushing, 2 TDs. And, I mean, Kyler Murray, you suck. You only got me 18 points. Like, I'm ready to drop your ass. Like, I don't know. Like, you got D-Hop back. I mean, you got weapons on offense. You got Robbie Anderson. You got, well, Marquise Brown is out now. But Robbie Anderson, you got Zach Ertz, James Conner. I mean, like, you got guys that can catch for you and, like, run, like, do stuff. Like, why you only get me, like, 175 yards passing? Like, I need over 300. I don't know, man. You're not the answer. You're not going to lead me to the playoffs, but there's no good options on the bench. So, Kyler Murray, fix your act. Maybe you actually do need that clause in your contract where you actually need to study the playbook because right now it ain't helping you. But the Seahawks, they remain in first place in the NFC West. They get the victory over the Cardinals, 31-21. Next we go the Rams and the Bucks. For the first 3.5 quarters, probably most of this game, this was boring. I mean, defenses, it was punt, turnover on downs. I mean, just 2 QBs that just looked old. Cooper Kupp, he did his thing, over 100 yards receiving and a tutty. That's a given. He's going to do his thing, but no one else really showed up for the Rams, which is the theme this season. The Bucks, on the other hand, Tom Brady, we all know about him. Life in shambles. He needed something good to happen, and he got the ball back, 44 seconds left on the clock, and like vintage Brady in his time with the Patriots, drove the Bucks down to the 1-yard line, found rookie tight end Cade Otton for a 1-yard TD, and the Bucks pulled it out. I think this is just what Brady needed. He needed to win. He needed to see that he can win again. Obviously, he's divorced, dad. He needs some good in his life, and this was good for him. Bucks over the Rams, 16-13. We go to Sunday Night Football between the Titans and the Chiefs. Somehow this game was close, even though Malik Willis was starting. Ryan Tannehill's still out. When you have King Henry, he's just going to do his thing. Over 100 yards again, 2 TDs. Titans defense was holding Mahomes for a bit, but you can only hold him for so long. He had 446 yards passing. He threw and ran for a TD. And, this game went into overtime, which was surprising. I thought maybe the Chiefs would run away, but, they play close games sometimes, and luckily they just did enough, and they were able to kick the field goal, hold the Titans, got a turnover on downs, and they won the game. It was a gritty victory for the Chiefs, and one that they will take. They get the victory over the Titans, 20-17 in overtime. Finally, we go to Monday Night Football between the Ravens and the Saints. This was all about Kenyon Drake, 2 rushing TDs. Lamar, he found Isaiah Likely for a TD, who filled in nicely for Mark Andrews, who was out with an injury. And, the Saints, just no offense. Alvin Kamara, nope. Andy Dalton, nope. There's really not much to it. So, the Ravens, they did what they needed to do on the road. They get the victory on Monday Night Football over the Saints, 27-13. That's it for Week 9. Hopefully we get to see more of Kurt Thuggins doing his thing, you know what I'm saying? And time to go hit the gym so I can get ripped like him. See y'all next week.